Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Friday, the 7th of November. So let's start off with the max pain. I don't think there's much use looking at a 24-hour. I don't think it's that important. But the 48-hour, we are sitting about $500 away from the long max pain. With the short max pain sitting at 102.7. 3-day, 98.2 for the long max pain. Getting quite close to that stuff. 1 week, 98.2. 2 week, 98.2. 1 month, 100k. So it seems like a couple of things are lining up at 98.2, with the most of the max pain sitting at just 100k. So basically where we are right now. You know, is it possible that we make another low to 98k, where there is a few liquidations as well from all the people that were longing, you know, like all this way down? But you know, it's just like there's no sign of a reversal yet. There just is no sign of it. Apart from like all the daily metrics are super bullishly diverging, but you know, it's not looking too great at the moment. Anyway, let me turn my light on. It's super dark today. Long to short ratio, I mean, you know, we're sitting at very, very high prices on actually top traders are more long than retail. I don't really think this top traders is too important. I don't really ever look at it, to be honest. Yeah, it's more about retail, but they are heavily long in this area. So yeah, I mean, we had the cross on the big dump, and ever since then, longs have been coming in really heavy in this down move. You know, there was a potential that we could hold 101k, but it's not looking too great on this daily candle. We really want to see it ping up and have a really good buyback up towards at least 106. But it's just not there. It's just not there yet. And to be honest, you know I was saying that 75%, 70 to 75% either way is max saturation, but quite a lot of the time, that actually ends in a massive candle to the opposite direction of the 75%. So if it's 75% short, it'll do a massive candle up. 75% or around then long, there's usually a massive candle down and then a huge reversal, to just absolutely ruin everyone. So that could be about to play out if we breach 101k on the daily, and we could just see one huge candle down to 94. Definitely on the cards. Yep. Again, long to short ratio, 73% long. It's just not great. CoinGlass Legend. All I really use this for is for the volume nodes, because I don't really have it on my trading view charts, and I kind of like it on here. We have failed to hold this area that I wanted to hold, and we are now hurtling towards the low. I don't think this low is going to hold. There's no volume. It's a bit of a dead zone. It's just not looking strong. We really need to see some buybacks today for any chance of this. And I'm going to show you what I want to see for it to look good. If not, I'll see you at 94k, like probably quite quickly. But yeah, it's not looking great. It's actually looking really bad as of right now. So look at Hyperdash liquidations before chart. Can you send it to me, please? Because I'm a bit lazy. Market maker doing regular seats on multiple clusters. 98, 96 is another. Yeah, I'm about to put it on the actual chart as well. I think you know what I'm about to show you. It's oops, just put those two on by accident. It's this down here. So one thing that I can say is that the amount of high leverage shorts above us is getting to be kind of ridiculous. Like, it's really getting, you know, all the way up to like 117. Like, even just this cluster at 111, 112 is it's getting quite ridiculous. The thing that I was looking at, which kind of goes with the max pain, is this 98 point 97 to 99 cluster down here, just below these lows. However, I mean, so to make this look good, I want to see a really fast dump into this stuff and then a really big bounce back into this high leverage stuff. Now, that probably won't happen all in one day, but you know, we actually want to see this dump really hard into there and then ping up really fast, or at least like as much as possible before the end of the day. I don't really see it at this moment in time. I kind of want to close back above like at least 101, you know, like take this lick and then close at least back above, you know, minimum 105, but 101 would be perfect. And then we could actually talk about like taking this high leverage stuff, doing a new high, and then okay, we have like actually something to go on towards like 110, 111. Still, my target is 110, 111. Still, but if we break 101 on the daily, as we are doing right now, there's just nothing in the way. If I just full screen this, there's just nothing in the way to 94, 95. If I put auto charting tools on, yeah, there's just nothing in the way. I don't think we're going to get a substantial bounce at December. And there's a lot of liquidations down here at like 93, just below the yearly open. So, you know, close this daily candle like this, and it's probably just going to nuke really fast down to 94. And you just, yeah, it's probably going to go like that. And then, you know what? We might not actually even get 110, 111 until a lot later, because this could just bearishly retest 100 and then go all the way down into the stupid pocket here. Is definitely possible, because we are in a really, really heavy downtrend. And then we could actually talk about like going all the way back up, especially if we do some like closes below the low for a bearish tuber, like a big weekly bearish tuber. But yeah, we really need this daily candle to like flip, and right now that looks very, very bearish. Extremely, extremely bearish. So yeah, 99 to 98.7 is definitely a potential area for like a reversal, but there's just no substance to it just yet, and it's just not looking great. Let's have a look at Hyperdash quickly. So yeah, there's more short liquidations in general, which definitely makes a lot of sense. Liquidation analysis down here. You guys actually aren't going to be able to see this because I'm on the wrong chart. But it says, I'll just tell you what it says. There's a bunch of liquidations at 99.7. There's another bit at 98.5 to 98.8. And that kind of continues all the way down, actually. Literally all the way down into 94, apparently. So, actually, do you know what? I think I've got it on the wrong size. They've added this new heat map, bro, other than the distribution. That's cool. Although the heat map isn't very good. I can't really read that well. But yeah, there's enough liquidations below us to take us down, especially if we break this level. And with the long to short ratio, I only see 94k at this moment in time. Unless we can start like pinging up towards the end of the day, it's yeah. Whoops, I went back a little bit too far there. Yep, so a little bit wrecked, unfortunately. Let's see how it closes at the end of the day. If it closes below, you're basically just looking at this area being bearish retest area now. Something like that. And then back down into 94. The old ETH also looking really, really bad. Yeah, I drew this out yesterday actually, from this low because I was long. Actually didn't manage to get filled on any of my short here, unfortunately. I was actually aiming for the A86 to I was actually aiming for this, but that would have been a semi-decent short if taken, 3.7%. However, I did not take it, and I'm going to delete it now. Delete. We'll have a look at this and just say, this 4-hour candle right here is doing a lot of harm to us, and it is breaking a lot of stuff. To be honest, though, the break already did happen after that 4-hour candle yesterday. However, there was still the potential to hold stuff, like for example this previous daily open, and maybe like ping back up. However, it just, again, it's looking really rough right here, and there's also just nothing in the way of this until we get down to 2.5 really. I mean, I know there's a bit of like stuff from 3.9 to 3. There's a small like overlapping support, which probably will just provide like a little bit of a bounce back up here if we do break. Apart from that, this is just going to go straight down to 2.5, unfortunately, if we do break here. There's just not much in between. There's just nothing in the chart here. Especially, like, it's the same with Bitcoin in between 100k and 85. There's that one bit at 94.95. It's the same with ETH. There's nothing in the way of this chart from 3.3 all the way to 2.5, apart from that small bit at 2.93 of this overlapping support. There's just nothing in the way. And if we drop this level, we're probably going to get a slight bounce there, and then continue like a lot further down. And then, you know, once we get down here, once we get down to the 80s, there's a very, very big chance of a huge bounce. But, yeah, you know, I'm actually quite surprised that we aren't seeing any sort of like significant bounce from here. It just shows that the market is very, very weak, and there's a lot of sellers at this moment in time. So, yeah. So, yeah, let me just check the stream's okay. The stream is okay. Let me just check the chat. Monkey.D do resident receipts. Yeah. 90, I think it's 98.7 to 99, but I think 98.6 is another. Didn't really line up perfectly, but yeah. So, this is looking wrecked. SFP, preferably doing URI in London, is not reliable. I also agree. London can be a little bit scammy. We can do like this sort of stuff before America, but usually it's just not looking good. Oh, that's a funny gif. That brings me back to the Looney Tune days, man. We still looking at the chart? Yeah, I know. Aren't you at the gym? Yes. Oh, it's a bit late for you, bro. So why are you typing go on the treadmill and run? I'm getting a lunch break. I type between sets. Bro, Zeus just jumps on the Stairmaster, man. Gets them glute gains. So yeah, super wrecked. And I would say that if we close this 4-hour candle like this in 40 minutes, which is looking like it's going to do that, it's going to break a whole load of stuff. And yeah, this looks really bad. We could potentially short this whole area unless you close above. So if we close this 4-hour candle like this, I'd say you could short this whole yearly open daily structure February until we gain that, which is about 3.35 on ETH. Same with Bitcoin. It's a little bit better, but I would say 102 till you gain that. You're not going to go anywhere further. And this is even breaking the low. Like, oof. So look at Solana. It's probably doing a similar thing. Yeah, it's breaking down. This actually does have a little bit more support. You know what? I actually haven't really looked at the other metrics as well. That's looking a bit rough on the 4-hour. 12-hour. Again, looks like a reversal. Daily. Looks like it's getting to a reversal, but we're just not holding on the price. Just quickly checking the retail stablecoin demand and the wave master quickly. Yeah, it just looks meh. Yeah, so this actually does have a bit more support where we actually are, or 147 on Solana. But again, if we're gonna go and do like 80k, 90k, and then 95, and then 80, and then 2.5 on ETH, this is not gonna hold. And it's probably gonna come down all the way to 125, and maybe even $100. If things start to get really, really bad. But there is a couple of things that I wanted to look at which were blasting off. So it's interesting because a few of these alts are actually not doing too bad. So you have FET up for some reason. I was literally saying this was looking absolutely wrecked yesterday. Still looking wrecked, and there's actually a potential short on this. Well, there was. It kind of feels like it's already done. I'd say that maybe if you bounce off this weekly open and make another high, it might actually bearishly diverge on the hourly, and you might actually get this change on the 4 hour here. So I'd say there's a possible short on FET actually just there in that thing. And there's also, let's have a look. Actually, let's go to a P chart and have a look at the liquidations. Can't really see, sir. We actually just took that high leverage stuff as well. It's a bit of a cluster at 7.4. That might be the swing fail zone. So I'd say that there is the potential for a trade probably around here. And then, yeah, you've probably already missed the first one, actually, which was thus. But yeah, another thing that was actually blasting was ZEC. Jesus, this ZEC thing. So let's have a look at some other privacy stuff. This thing's just going bonkers, bro. I'd say the next level up here is 750, and you're really getting towards the all-time high now. I mean, I would kind of take this out of the equation, but I would say that this is more the all-time high. This from 2017. 2017 is absolutely insane. Just trying to get back under 100k. Oh, fatty. I'm joking. Who's this wham, bro? He could probably sit on me and crush me. I'm joking. I weigh like 70, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'd say maybe the next level for this is 750 to 760. This is going off the charts on the weekly, which is absolutely nuts. Let's have a look at this. I don't think I've ever seen something do that. I'm not sure if I've seen that before, especially on the weekly time frame. It's actually coming out of the oversold area. Look, that's actually crazy. So yeah, this thing's going crazy. And another thing that was actually going crazy, I don't really have anything to say on ZEC, to be honest, apart from it's going absolutely bonkers. I think Filecoin was pumping though. I literally just saw that on X. Yeah, so it had a nice bullish divergence at the bottom. Getting a bit of a bearish retest right here, so let's actually just have a look at that. Where it stopped. Yeah. Kind of stopped at the. You mean you don't even need that to see that this is stopping right at the nub. Let me actually delete that, because you actually don't even need it. You can actually literally just see that this is the swing that you want to test. And this is kind of what I was actually aiming for all of the altcoin charts. after this big dump was like a bit of sideways, maybe like another lower low, and then a higher high, and then some absolute like fuckery down here, and then a big pop up to the bearish 786 or the bearish swing pattern. Fortunately, we didn't really get that on a lot of alts, but this at least had, let's have a look, some bullish divergence on the daily. So I think that's potentially was the outlier, was the big bullish divergence. And we actually already got it quite early on the retail stablecoin demand as well. So maybe on alts we should look for stuff like that. But yeah, this is also potentially, I mean, potentially a short as well, you know? Like, if we're looking at Bitcoin and it's looking rough, I mean, sure. Why not jump on a little bit of this? And like, if you don't want to short into an uptrend like this, say you're waiting for a breakdown, even though this is like still a lower high from here, what I'd do is I'd go to the 5 minute and wait for like a lower low like this. So say this is your high, this is your low. You wait for the price to break below here. Once it does, you pull your fib and you basically just try and get that retest in there. Sometimes it doesn't really happen. Once you break, you get like a really bearish retest and then you go, which actually happens to me quite a lot when I'm trying to short, because I always try to get the nice short like at the top. But yeah, that's like maybe if you don't want to like short into this like really like silly megaphone up structure, which does look like it wants to break down though, to be honest. Interesting. Interesting. But yeah, apart from that, just like, it's just looking a bit rough, isn't it, guys? Near. So someone said they're turning to near now. I'm looking at near right here, and it actually looks relatively quite good. I mean, that doesn't look bad. You have a nice liquidation pocket sitting on your 786 here. That's cool. Another bit of high leverage around the 618, which is nice. 4-hour combinations coming up to, again, the 786. That's quite nice, especially if you start to see a bit of a reversal here. That will probably support the price. That's nice. And last but not least, do we have any support? Yeah, there's support from the 786 all the way down to the low here. So this could actually make for an interesting long. So I'd say near for a long, maybe around 185. The other two for a short. That's probably about it. It's probably about all I'm looking at this moment in time. I'm not really that interested in like getting into the nitty gritty, you know? Look at E from the yearly chart, bro. Don't talk to me about the yearly. I'm with you, Jack. Falcon short opening now. Yeah, just be careful though. But it's like something that does look decent now. What is slightly sketchy is that we're looking really bad on Bitcoin and ETH, and why are these altcoins pumping? You know, like why is FET pumping? This thing's been dead for ages. Look at this. Look at this thing. Hold on. Look at this. This has been dying since, let's say, May. Literally, did this lower low down here, and then since then it's just been absolutely horrible. And I wouldn't say that this is a very significant pump at all, but you know, if this actually starts to gain a level on the daily, then it could get actually like really rampy, and we could get that like November, December pop up all the way up to the swing that we lost before the big dump, before the big lick. And then that's really like, okay, now it's over. Into oblivion. So yeah, that's about it for me. That's all I've got to talk about. I mean, there's obviously loads of plays that you can do on the lower time frames. For example, let's have a look at Popcat. So yeah, Popcat has a couple, is potentially holding this daily open for a little bit of a bounce. Broken the recent low. Yeah, but also got a lot of decent like 5-minute support below it. I mean, I'm not really that interested in it at the moment, so. But if you guys were looking for something to scalp, on the hourly, it actually doesn't look too bad. This actually looks like it's potentially breaking out. You know, we've actually done a really nice test of here. But as for right now, we're bullishly backtesting the daily open, and we've got some nice hourly support down at 126. I mean, I would say that this has got a good chance of going up to here. You know, like if we break that, if we come down here and break that, okay, it's gonna do that. But until then, this is actually not looking too bad. This is actually not looking bad at all. It's just really difficult to know where to long this because you can't really. I mean, actually, 2% range on Popcat is not bad, especially if you're trading this on like 1x. You could just stack a few orders in here with a stop somewhere in here, and hopefully you get like something like that. Not bad. Not bad at all. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to stop my recording here because that was 27 minutes. Perfect.